ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I just want to kind of go over. We are going to have on June 6th, it'll be the last exam that we have of the school year, and we will be doing the 7th grade social studies on June 6th. The week coming, we are going to go over some of these test questions, and I just want to kind of get us familiar with what we're going to see. And I'm just going to kind of zoom through a couple questions here and just to kind of get you familiar. We'll be doing this in class, but for any parents or anybody else watching, this stuff will be available to your kids in a printed version and online in the Google Classroom. So you get kind of see some of the things that we have here. It is content specific to what we studied here this year in world history. Talking about, like this one, for example, talks about oil and how it affects the national economies, stuff like that. I mean, you go through talking about things like natural rights with John Locke and the Enlightenment. This is all stuff we've studied this year, but you really just kind of have to dissect through the questions by doing a close reading. A lot of times with these social studies final exams, they are more heavy on the reading and inferencing and kind of making connections within the test itself than it is heavy on the content, which can be a good thing. So you got Declaration of Discrimination Against Women. This is really talking about the UN. We have things about England. Talks about the different revolutions. What are factors that they all share? This is the kind of stuff they're going to see. So let me show you one other thing, and this is really helpful for parents if you want them to kind of go over an exam that has been released by the state of North Carolina. And if you go here, this is at ncpublicschools.org, and if you put in something like the social studies final exam, you'll see stuff come up. And what we have here, if you look, is this 7th grade social studies, and you can click on it. It'll bring it up in a PDF file. Ta-da! It has been released items from the state, and you can see this is where I am pulling some of this review from. And again, we were talking about the crude oil earlier. It goes all the way through, and look, even the correct answers. So again, this is the idea. If you go to the North Carolina Public Schools, looks a little something like this. They have released items from 2016 and 2017. As far as I can tell, this has been the same test. That what year? They say 17, 18, but this pretty much looks like the test from the year before and the year before that. So I'm not saying it's going to be this exact test, but what we're doing in class and what they'll have to do at when it comes down to it will be very similar to this. And they're going to have access to this to be able to take home. And we're going to, like I said, go over it in class, but they'll have access to this at home. So even if you don't have an internet connection, most of this stuff I will have printed out for them. And it's going to be more in this like a PowerPoint, but they will have all this, and each day we're going to kind of go over it and help them out. So I just wanted you to see this kind of format, so it was nothing new to the kids seeing it, but also to the parents if you want to know kind of what these final exams look like, you know, talking about different kind of economies, and your children actually know a lot about this, or in theory they do, because we have gone over it basically every time we talk about whether it's China or the Enlightenment going all the way to World War I, World War II. You know, we talk about these different economies and these different types of governments and stuff like that. So this is just stuff for them to look at. I just wanted you to be aware what it looks like ahead of time. And again, this will be on June 6th. It'll be the last test that they take for the 2017-2018 school year. And I'm sure they're going to do great, but I just wanted to kind of make this quick video so you had an idea. Again, If you ever want to access this at home, you go to the North Carolina Public Schools website, Accountability and Service Division. There is something for social studies, and you can also find things for the science final exams and everything for that matter. So anyway, thanks for tuning in on this one. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up on what everything's going to look like. We had a great school year this year. We really enjoyed the students that I had in social studies and in my ELA classes, but we really appreciate it. Parents, they get to see these videos, just make sure they're getting a good night's rest, make sure they're eating breakfast, and thank you for letting us educate you.